Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Chanel James. I'm the owner of LimbsNThings mobile physical therapy practice. I serve DC, Maryland, and Virginia, aging adults trying to get better, moving from I can't to I can. So today we have Marni Miller. She is also a physical therapist. She graduated from Emory University. She's also a certified athletic trainer, and she's currently an Arbonne area manager. So why are we talking about this with physical therapy? Sometimes we have patients that cannot feel like themselves, right? Sometimes people come to us and they're at a higher energy level, and the next day they're at a lower energy level. And for me, I tend to ask them, so what's going on? What happened during your day? Is there something that is actually causing you to feel tired or different than you felt before? And if nothing during their day sounds like it's stressful or that has possibly caused them to have a feeling of not having as much energy, then I say, well, did you eat today? So there are times when we often have to find out if someone has eaten. And then I'm listening for, did you have a protein? Because proteins help give your tissues the shape and the organs the shape. Did you have a carb? They are our primary source of energy. They help our brains primarily, but our kidneys as well, and our central nervous system. And then, did you have a fat? Is there a fat in what they said? That is important for insulating our organs and protecting our organs as well. So today, Marni's going to talk to us a little bit about those things and more. You ready, Marni?
I am. Thank you so much. And I love that introduction because, like you said, I was a physical therapist many years ago. I went through school and we didn't learn nutrition. So you're much smarter than I was. We didn't even think of talking to our patients about their nutrition and the effect it was having. And there's the daily of having the energy that you need. And then there's the long-term effects. And that's what I really want to address is making sure each day and how that builds. So one of the things I'm super passionate about that I've learned with Arbonne is having a healthy gut and what that means to your body. So research shows that a healthy gut, it means overall well-being. It contributes to your immune system, your heart, your brain, your overall mood, your immunity, your sleep, and of course your digestion. That's kind of the obvious one, but there's all these other things it affects. So what's part of a healthy gut? Well, you want to have probiotics. People hear a lot about probiotics. Probiotics are great. They do give you the beneficial bacteria that you want in your gut. You also want to have prebiotics to make sure that the bad bacteria is not in your gut so that your gut's functioning at its best. So gut health is super important. And then you talked about those carbs, fat, and protein. And so I want to touch on that a little bit more because there's good fats and bad fats, and there's good carbs and bad carbs, and good proteins and bad proteins. So one of the things that I think is really important and to just make it a little bit more simple for people to know, because it can be super overwhelming, right? Like there's so many ads and there's so many things on the shelves now, and where do you go? And Whole Foods mean not the grocery store's great, but I mean literally whole foods, meaning things that have not been processed, are always going to be a great source for you. So whenever in doubt, especially your fruits and vegetables, choose whole foods. So what is a whole food? Well, whole grains are whole foods, beans, fruits, vegetables, things that come in their most natural state. So the less processing, the better it is for you. So there's going to be more vitamins. So there's going to be more minerals. There's going to be more fiber, all your essential nutrients. So the more the food is processed, the more of those essential things that we lose. Mm-hmm. So the benefit of whole foods or minimally processed, like whole grain rices and things like that, brown rice is whole grain rice, is that it decreases your chance of heart disease. It decreases your chance of cancer. It decreases your chance of type 2 diabetes. The opposite, fast foods and I don't want to say fatty foods because some fat is good, right? But fully processed foods are high in saturated fats, calories, sugar, and sodium. And you lose those nutrients. You lose that fiber, the protein, the all the good stuff that you want in foods is stripped out each time that it's processed. So some simple exchanges instead of a sugary cereal in the morning, and be careful because even things that sound really good, like frosted mini wheats, is a sugary cereal, right? So switch that out with maybe oatmeal and a banana or some berries. Instead of white bread, go to a whole grain bread. Instead of fruit juice, have a piece of fruit because that juice has been processed. Stick with your whole food. Instead of deli meat, have real meat, have roast chicken, have pork, things like that. The less processing, the better it is for you.
Oh, and man, I've got to make some changes.
You do? Yeah, but we can talk about that. So real food is a beautiful thing. And our body, and I don't want to go too on this, but our body learns to, so all the sugars, and especially those artificial sugars, truly change your taste buds. So you find that the more natural foods aren't as savory, as satisfying to you because your taste buds have been messed with. So it takes about 30 days to change that habit and to get rid of that old sensation. And then you actually really love the flavors of natural foods. But unfortunately, those artificial flavors, they really mess with our habits and with our taste buds. So the last thing I want to touch on, and then, I'm happy, please ask questions, anything you guys want to know. And if I don't have the answer, I'll do the research and come back to the chat. But sources of protein. So we know our meats, right? And again, not processed. The more you can stay away from deli meat, the happier I'll be. There's so much research on the stuff that they pump into that. So meats are great, but there's great sources of vegan protein as well. So I just wanted to share what some of those are. And you touched on the importance of this, Chanel, of protein. Every cell in our body contains proteins. Proteins are really, really important. You need proteins to repair the cells in your bodies and to make new ones. In particular, aging adults need more protein because they process protein less efficiently. We process protein less efficiently as we age. So in order to maintain that muscle mass, you need to make sure you're giving your body enough protein. So we know that eating red meat every day for every meal is probably not recommended, right? Because while there's good things in meat protein, there's some things that you just want to be careful not to have too much. So I want to just throw out some other sources of protein for you. Things like brown rice has protein in it. Things like cranberries, seeds like chia, flax, and hemp are great sources of protein. Peas, kidney beans, chickpeas, snow peas. So there's a lot of great vegetables that you don't think of as protein sources that have great sources of protein. I have some great stories of some vegan athletes, triathletes that require massive amounts of protein for the work that they're putting their bodies through, some weightlifters, things like that. And they're vegan. Like you can get enough protein from vegan sources. I'm not suggesting you need to be vegan. I just want to make the point that there's a lot of great vegan sources out there for you.
Question for you. What about eggs? Can you substitute that as like your protein?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, you don't want to have so much eggs. You want to have variety. Variety is great, but eggs are a great source of protein for sure. Yeah. And that's actually just to, the final plug to finish this up is what drew me to Arbonne in the first place, is learning about nutrition. And Arbonne has an incredibly strict ingredient policy with their products, and their protein is it's formulated from peas, brown rice, and cranberry seeds. And it's 20 grams of protein per serving and 24 vitamins and minerals and all the essential amino acids. So yes, eating real food, I think, is super important, but we do need more protein than we realize, especially as we age. And having this as a supplement is a great way to get in just a little bit extra of that protein without any of the bad stuff that goes with it. So it was when I switched to using the Arbonne nutrition products that I changed my whole gut health. And that's when it was very eye-opening to me the changes that I didn't have the black circles under my eyes anymore. I didn't have the energy dips throughout the day. My energy stayed even. And, there was just a number of different things that had nothing to do with weight. And my weight did change, and it was beautiful, and that was great. But there were so many other things that happened to my body that became it was very obvious to me that nutrition has a bigger role than I realized, and how we feel and how we live our life. So that's what got me into this, and being able to share that with people to help them live healthier lives is just super exciting for me.
So true. I find that a lot of aging adults don't like to go to the bathroom. They find that if they drink too much water, then that's going to send them to the bathroom. It's not so much of a functional thing, but they also are taking medications like fluid pills or other diuretics that may, promote having to go to the bathroom a lot. But is there anything nutrition-wise that would be beneficial there?
So we have an electrolyte replacement that I would add to what they're already using. So it's a powder. So rather than having an extra water, add it to the water you're already having, so that when you're drinking that water, you're getting the electrolyte benefit as well. And it's I hate to use brand names, but it's basically a healthy Gatorade, right? So Gatorade, Powerade, they're all really good, but they all have artificial flavors in them, or they're packed with sugars. So this would give you the electrolytes that is going to really help with your hydration levels and keep it elevated without having the garbage in it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like I need to cut out my favorite cereal, Frosted Flakes.
We got to get rid of that for sure. We can make there's great options. I have a protein shake every morning because I just love, it gets me in the routine. I add berries, I add spinach, I add all sorts of yummy stuff, blend it together. By the way, it sounds weird if you're not a protein person to put spinach in your shake. It sounds kind of funky. When you blend spinach, it has no flavor. So
it does taste really good.
Yeah. So even my kids put spinach in their shakes. You can't taste it. So that's always a great way. Spinach has so many great things in it that we tend to not get enough of, the folic acid, all that kind of stuff. So smoothies are great for breakfast because you can put in all the different kinds of stuff. I add for that fat, because you do want a healthy fat, I add almond butter to my shake.
Okay.
And I really love that. A lot of people add avocado because it makes it a creamy shake, and the avocado doesn't have a flavor.
That's true. Yep.
So yeah, that's another healthy fat alternative that a lot of people like. I eat avocado plain all the time too. I love avocados. So if you're looking for a healthy fat, that's a great source.
I like it. Okay. So what about going to Subway? Because you said deli meat, and everybody thinks Subway is the healthier option if you're going to go to something that's a little faster to get quickly.
Faster options in our house are Cava, Chipotle, things like that, where you can pick. I think those are great, especially on road trips, things like that. Panera is a great one to grab and go. I smile when you say Subway because a couple articles just came out this week about their products, and there's deli meat alone. There's so many carcinogens in deli meat. It makes me so nervous. I grew up I was a semi-pro soccer player. I was, growing up, I played 7 days a week. I took off maybe 10 days a year. I had a meatball sub before every game. And I didn't know better, right? So, and reading the latest on Subway particularly, I'm very lucky to be here still. So, I think that, I totally get the need to eat on the run and to go out, but I would recommend a Panera, like I said, a Cava, a Chipotle. Chipotle's doing cauliflower rice now, which is awesome. But they have brown rice too, which is great. So you don't have
that option.
Yeah. There's a couple great options there. There's even there's a what is it called? Chula is in the area. It's basically, we call it an Indian style Chipotle, but it's another one where you pick what goes on there and you have some control over it. So I think those would be my choices versus going to a deli type option.
So go with the more cooked options for protein.
Go with more cooked, no preservatives, and where you can add your fruits and vegetables on there.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely.
I got it. Well, thank you so much. Is there any final words that you want to give to aging adults that you think might be helpful? Any gems drop?
I think that the number one thing that I see, and my parents live with me, so I watch this process, is it's never too late to make changes. And the changes you make today, especially with nutrition, don't take long to take. You can see very, very quick effects by changing your nutrition. And the longer you do it, the better the effects. But it's not too late. You can make changes right now and start seeing the results.
I so agree. That is very true. I have had or seen the effects too of how you can change your diet and change your health, decrease some of your health risks, as well as diseases that may come up. So I want to thank you so much for joining us for Pull Up with LimbsNThings.
Thank you for this opportunity. Have a great weekend. If anyone has questions, throw them in the chat. We'll be taking a look at those.
For sure. Thank you, Marni. Take care. Bye.
Bye.